I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just driven. I'm a guy that came from nothing. Anybody's capable of doing shit like this. Anybody. And I sat in that tub. She put the water on me. She called my mom up, and my mom was dating a doctor at the time. The doctor said, "You need to get him to a hospital now." She came back in. All I wanted to do was call Chris Costner on the phone and raise her up to bad water, and sucking did it. So she said, "I'm taking it to the doctor." I said, "No, let me sit here and enjoy this pain." She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You know." I go, "I need to go to the doctor." I realized that, but I never thought it was humanly possible to do what I did. I went 70 miles, and at 70 miles I was dead. I was at 100% what I thought was 100%. I went 30. I went 31 more miles after being in the worst physical shape I've ever been in my life. And I sat in that tub and the waters hit me. It was the most amazing feeling of accomplishment.
I did this.
And as crazy as it sounds, it was the most amazing moment of my entire life to overcome such. To come from this kid who has missed and tortured himself and was tortured this often to this kid, to this guy now, he was able to overcome such amazing odds and obstacles. And I called Chris Carson up, the race director at Badwater, and he said, "The idea of a 24-hour race is to run 24 hours. You really ran 19. And he put doubt in my mind that he would let me in the Badwater. 2 weeks later, roughly December 5th, was this marathon that we all signed up for. I couldn't walk. I could not walk. I ran 100 miles before I ran a marathon. 10 days or 2 weeks after this 100 mile in one race, I did this marathon. December 5th, Las Vegas. That gun went off 2005, 14 days after I broke myself off, and I crawled off after the Boston Marathon. I ran 308. Like the gun went off and that thing came back like, "All right, man." What if then I went to the Hurt 100 race in Hawaii, 26 feet of climbing over 100 miles. Probably one of the top 5 hardest 100-mile races in the world. Went out there and got through the race, did in 33 hours, was a 9th place finisher, and I qualified for Badwater and got in. I went on to lose weight and trained hard, and I got 5th in my first year and went back in my second year and got there. I'm not the best at anything. I'm not gifted. I'm just driven. The 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't be there. 80 of them are just targets. 9 do most of fighting. 1 is a warrior. I saw it going through training. I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people we just show up to life.
There's something about talking to a guy like you that a lot of people will hope that you're gonna say some magic thing that's gonna click in their frame. What you're saying is that you have to do those things. You have to suffer. You have to live in it. You have to be comfortable in it. And then maybe some of that shit will help you a little bit along the way.
Me now is the guy that with his shirt off who can do 4.03 pull-ups in 17 hours, you can run 205 miles in 39 hours, who can do all this crazy shit, but what they don't understand is they don't understand the journey that it took me to get to this point. And what got me to this point was I was just the opposite of what I am today. I was that guy who ran away from absolutely everything that I got in front of me. I wanted to quit so badly, but I quit everything in my life. I copped through school. I wanted to prove people wrong. And so here I am in this Air Force program starting to get a little more confidence, but this water was kicking my ass, and 6 weeks in the program, the doctor gave me up to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why this 6-minute AB is so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you. I say it all time. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your brain. So when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. I'm trying to find more of myself, and the only way I can find more is to silence the world out as much as I can, because it's getting busier every day. It's getting faster. I put my phone away up and I go dark. I go dark a lot, and it's because I have to find out I'm on a journey of life, and we all have a different journey. I like to take this 4-lane highway, the easy highway. We all love that 4-lane highway. We always step over the shovel. I make my own path. But going through this path of life, this journey over here that you make yourself, that's incredibly difficult, and we're afraid. It's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. You have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you gotta open them up.
It does not some easy lit up street life path with nice smooth roads.
Right. Fail, and you're gonna be in your head. You're gonna be saying, I'm not good enough, and it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis. When that thing is saying, man, I'm 43. I've done so much, you start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money, and you start. I'm not getting cold anymore. I'm retired at 40. People shouldn't be playing basketball or footballer at 43. I'm still putting 100-mile weeks, still doing thousands of pull-ups, do thousands of push-ups, because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people, period. You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself. I'm big on being with yourself. I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy, the guy who can whatever. I want to be proud. If I die now, if I die at 8, I die at 9100. I'm going to look at myself and say, proud myself. I believe in patience. I'm a patient dude. I can watch a piece of grass grow for 20 years because I know that this is how you get somewhere in life, by being that month-like mentality. Being able to watch something grow very calmly and patiently. I can't go any faster. We do that to our brain. We put a governor in our brain. Second, we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, all those words that we hate to say because we're in this happy, peaceful world we live in now. We stop. We slow down. And if you can get through these different barriers and gain 5%, 2%, 3%, that 40% becomes 60, and 60% becomes 70, 80, and 90. And then you'll hopefully one day near 100. That dreamer mentality just would always fuel me. It was just fuel me, man. What if I can be a SEAL, man? Now I run touring 5 miles. What if I can go? Just what if I can go? And what if? How would that feel? You have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you got to open them up. I was, like I said, 297, I was about 32% body fat. And I went. My idea was to run 4 miles for my first run. I ran a quarter mile and walked home. I walked home and sat on my couch and cried. I sat down and I gave up.
You start out on the first day, and then do you start running again the second day?
Yeah, second day we right back after it again, but I started realizing I can't run that for it. Right. So what I did was I became damn near professional cyclists with the miles I put on the bike. I go to the gym and I developed this crazy workout where I was doing volume like 200-300 representatives, and I spent hours in the pool. I had to live in the water. The bike got easier. I was able to run more. I went from like 1 mile. 1 mile was a great accomplishment. 2 miles, and then from 2 to 3 was a bigger me. I went from 3 to 6. I failed. I'll go back to scratch. But I started realizing this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. It's not good enough. I'm gonna make myself good enough. When we have bad times in life, even the hardest person, when we forget how badass we are during that hard time. I have a thing where I take a couple seconds to reflect on, hang on, man, you've been through this, you've been through that, you overcame this, overcame that. I don't ever close my mind to the fact that this can be done.